As I recall, we have another matter to attend to in this domain.
Shall we head there now? 'Twould save us having to make the trip again.
What am I supposed to do?
Hi. Faring well, I hope. Would you care to join me? I'd not say no to a bit of company. I was hoping you'd say that. Do you know, I had a feeling we'd meet here today. Intuition, I suppose. Say, you're not from round here, are you? Are you a traveler? Have you seen many places? How I envy you. This city is all I know. I long to learn more of the outside world, but Mother won't allow it. She's always telling me how dangerous it is beyond the palace walls. But that only makes me question her judgment all the more. After all, if the world truly is so perilous, what of the lives of our people? They must be fraught with uncertainty, subject to harsh conditions. It seems unfair that I alone should be shielded from that reality. But listen to me waffling on. Ah, I almost forgot. Here, I brought more of the money I owe you. I should have the remainder ready by our next meeting. My apologies, friend, but I'd best be going. I mustn't let Mother find out I left the palace. Thank you for indulging me. I do hope we'll see each other anon. Till then, farewell.
Let's take it easy today. Where are you up to?
My knees are acting up.
Lots to do. And precious little time.
I shall be on top form today. I can feel it.
Just nodded off for a moment there.
Mayhap I'll seek out a town I've yet to visit.
Naught good will come of this.
This ox cart's bound for Melve. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
They can be most convenient, though they only travel during the day. Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favor.
Try not to get hit, lest all that vim go to waste.
I am honored to be called to your side, Arisen. Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements. allow any further harm to come to you.
You have no right. I'm not.
Enough. Not bad, eh?
Oh, it's not enough for a lady captain to see my needs.
One might confidently call that a resounding victory.
Well, I'm sure there's still room for improvement.
Now here's a surprise.
The thrill of discovery never gets old.
Interesting. I shall have to inform my own master of this.
Pretty kind.
Best quality a soldier can have. I'm
Like
dead
it or
on
not, must go.
Fought
I
to the
hope I can
best.
count on you in a scrape. Took nary a moment. Now that we're here, what did you have in mind, Arisen? What is the meaning of this, Arisen?
Come to test your wits. The parent knows the child, yet the reverse is far from true. The child knows not the parent. Such is the parent's due. I am a lost child, for kinship do I yearn. So bring to me my parent, that I might better learn. And you claim this to be the parent I seek. Indeed, you are correct. All is in the name. You have proven your wits, and so I shall bestow upon you a prize. Collect it from yon chest at your leisure.
Huzzah! You done it!
Come to test your wits. Love is as twin to madness, they say. They are bound fast, as night is today. So bring forth your most beloved to me, that I might gauge the depth of your insanity. Is this your most beloved you bring before me? Well, well. Very good. Not half bad. Yet only one you bring? I'd thought you capable of more. A promise made, a promise kept. And so I shall open for you a chest.
Surely not.
Come to test your wits. Life is an enigma, a lender of mortal debt. Yet lighter pack makes fleet of foot, and challenge nimbly met. So grant to me what you most prize, and thence elude your ponderous demise. So, this is your prized possession? A most revealing choice. Do you consent to give it to me? knowing that it may never be returned. Well, well. Very good. That's the spirit. Such generosity deserves a reward, methinks. Why don't you take a peek in yon chest? Come to test your wits. Seeker's tokens are treasures indeed. Keepsakes of a fondly remembered journey. Yet where was it that you found your first? Retrace your steps if you can. You might make a new discovery. Ah, I see I needn't have worried. Well sought and well found. I trust it was a pleasant jaunt. As promised, you shall have your prize. Look for it in yon chest. 5 riddles have I posed, and 5 answers have you given. Perhaps you expected more, but I'm afraid that's that. Our next game shall have to take a different tack. Though constant this world may seem, in truth, all is in flux. And so, the time has come for me to fly. If you are not yet satisfied, seek me at my new abode. But for now, I bid you farewell, dogged adventurer.
This gloom, weary cursed. Oh, a ferry stone. With that in hand, we can leap from one end of the kingdom to another in a trice.
'Tis not an item to be squandered. Do watch where you're going. You'll hurt yourself one of these days.
Oh, don't mind me. These things happen.
Tis a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
After you, Arisen.
It's an unexpected reunion, but a happy one. A troubling rumor has reached my ears, and methinks I ought to share it. 'Tis said there is an illness pawns can contract beyond the rift that inflicts unspeakable harm on those around them. As it progresses, the pawn gradually loses all self-control and, in time, will even cease to heed the Arisen's commands.
Hoi, friend! Have you any time for me today? I dare say we're overdue another talk. There's something I've come to understand during my stolen hours exploring these streets, and I wanted to share it with you. Every last resident in this city is wholeheartedly devoted to living out their lives. It seems a simple observation, I know, but to me, 'twas a revelation, for it made me painfully aware of my own position. Can this existence of mine even be called living when I am so doted upon by my mother? I want to live a life I can proudly call my own, and to achieve it with all that my heart desires. I tire of enduring my mother's coddling, and of having to mind every twitch in her face in order to appease her. Looking at this box, it fills me with courage. 'Tis proof that I am not my mother's servant to be willed about as she pleases. 'Tis something I obtained of my own will. Here is the last of the gold I owe you. Pray forgive me for making you wait for it. Now, I'd best be off. I may not be able to wander the city again for some time. There's aught I would do. Thus, I cannot say when next we'll see each other, though I feel sure we shall in time. Perhaps sooner than we might think. Till then, take care, friend.
That was quite a gift. I hope that procuring it was not a burden upon the lad.
'Tis as you say.
Shall we pay Miss Daphne another visit? I find myself wondering how the young lass fares. Allow me to guide you, Master. I know the person you're looking for.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
I end up feeling weary.
Arms for the poor.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
Well met, Sir Arisen. Might I trouble you for alms for the poor? Many thanks. May fortune smile upon you, kind sir. Well met, Sir Arisen. Might I trouble you for alms for the... Many thanks. May fortune smile upon you, kind sir. Ah, hold on a moment, Sir Arisen. Perchance you would be willing to aid me with another matter. You see, one of the children we care for here at the Gracious Hand has gone missing. Malcolm, his name is. He's a steady lad. I can't imagine he would have run away. This building's very old. It could be that he's found himself in some strange corner of it. Might I impose on you to search for him?
We won't get far with naught to go on. We'd best ask around, see what we can find out.
True enough.
What to do? What to do? Hoy, Arisen! Say, have you heard about the state of the river? Do you know the river close by the church? Well, it's come to be full of muck and filth and all sorts. That's a problem for the church, as it draws from the river to make holy water. The water's so filthy that it's going to take twice the amount of gold ore to purify it. I was thinking you could help the priests by finding some gold ore. After all, it wouldn't be good for anyone if the church ran out of holy water. I was hoping you'd say that. Thanks ever so much. I'll help too. I'll look for gold ore every place I can think of.
Now we seek gold ore. Though 'tis sold in shops, mining some ourselves might prove the better choice.
That's just what I was...
I've no words left for you or anyone else. Suppose you're all right.
Malcolm's been really into exploring of late. Just the other day, he was going around telling anyone who'd listen about how he was an ox hair away from making some big discovery.
Let me get that.
Malcolm? All he's doing of late is picking through rubble. Don't know why he bothered.
Materials such as this can be combined to craft things.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it.
This is a place of prayer. Do keep your voice low. This is a place of prayer. Do keep your voice.
I fear I've much to attend to.
A short repose would do me a world of good. Is Malcolm all right? We were supposed to go exploring together, but I overslept, and he went without me. Wish he'd woken me up. I was really looking forward to going down into those vaults. Oh no, I wasn't meant to tell anyone that.
Shall we be off? We've a report to make.
Anything could be lurking here.
Vaults, eh?
Vaults, you say? By my knowledge, they were sealed off. Ah, but you mentioned rubble, aye? And perhaps the lad found a way through. Come, I fear there's not a moment to lose. Pray, follow me, and quickly. I believe this is the place to which the children were referring. Look, there, a hole. Could he have passed through here? There is naught to be done but have a look for ourselves. The passage ahead looks small, but we may be able to squeeze through. Let us make haste.
I heard a rumour that this land was once a kingdom of beastrons.
Truly?
Quite. Though no definitive records remain. I've got a good feeling about this one.
Malcolm, thank goodness you are unharmed. You have my eternal gratitude, Sir Arisen. Now I can breathe freely at last.
Sir Kendrick, you'll never believe what I've found. It's just up ahead. Books, sir. Books, books, and more books. It's like some sort of secret workshop.
Truly? Perhaps we ought to take a look.
We ought to follow close behind, lest we get separated.
That's just what I was thinking. Feast your eyes on this!
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
Over here. Come look.
Heavens above!
Isn't it amazing? And I found it. Me.
'Tis quite a find indeed. Is this some manner of archive? Why, I've ne'er seen so many books. This collection must be worth a fortune. 'Tis a veritable treasure trove of wisdom. Might I ask that you not share the existence of this place with others, Sir Arisen? We cannot allow the knowledge accumulated here to be misused or mistreated. We ought to entrust its care to someone worthy, someone who can appreciate its true value. Pray, tell me if you know of such an individual. As for you, Malcolm, I forbid you from telling anyone else about this place. 'Twill be our little secret. Understood?
Oh, but...
However, in exchange for your silence, you may come and go as you please. Let's investigate this place's secrets together, eh?
It near boggles the mind that so impressive an archive slumbered here. 'Tis surely any scholar's dream.
I knew it to be so.
I lack information pertinent to this task. Consider hiring a pawn better apprised of such matters.
He just senses if aught feels out of place, it could very well be a trap.
Naught can threaten us if we watch each other's backs.
This place is amazing. I knew I'd find something down here, but I never expected this. Nothing ever seems to happen round
Oh, what does this say?
The books ne'er seem to end. Who could have brought them here, I wonder?
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the matter at hand. Perhaps we should have a more knowledgeable pawn join our party.
I grant you lightning's fangs!
I'll gather these now. It would be a shame to forget their location when we need them most. Must you run so fast? I can hardly keep you in my sights, Arisen.
Let us endeavor to keep up, though we are less fleet of foot.
Not my kind. I'll not stick my head where it will get cut. I'll feel a sight better once
Master, if you're carrying around anything you don't need, there's no time like the present to rid yourself of it.
Perhaps 'tis time we returned to our base of operations and deposited some of our finds. I lack information pertinent to this task. Consider... Bring... Pawn better apprised of such matters.
Townspeople depend on me.
washes all my troubles clean away this place.
There's a ladder here.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Have you business with the guild, sir? I should be glad to assist you. Have you found any of the items we discussed? Chance. Always a pleasure.
It would seem we've a need to visit the palace.
Something smells divine.
So tight. Yon path leads not to our destination. If you would prefer to explore, I shall guide you another time.
The Arisen is capricious indeed. But don't despair. We shall count upon your guidance when the time comes.
You are the Arisen, yes? The captain gave me your description. Follow me!
I'm about ready to fall asleep.
I'm sure I can handle this.
Tis best you move along. Should one of the other guards espy you, I will be forced to play my part. Pray, be cautious, Your Majesty.
Who's there? Pray, keep your voice low. 'Twouldn't be good for either of us if someone was summoned to come check on me. Could it be that you have come to bring Mother's schemes to light? Aye, Disa is my mother. Pray forgive me for not telling you sooner. 'Twas never my intent to deceive you. I'd simply feared that if I spoke the truth, none would wish to involve themselves with me. But that is no longer a concern. 'Tis clear that we are allied in purpose. My word, you mean to say that you are the true Arisen? That the Sovereign currently residing in the palace is a pretender? Could Mother have had a hand in that as well?
Regent Kin Sven appears to be missing from his chambers. Have you seen him?
Me? No, sir.
Then start searching, you fool. Should aught befall the regent kin, 'tis us who'll answer to her grace.
Forgive me. My absence seems to have made this rather more difficult for us. You ought leave the palace at once. This room turned up little of interest, but I've a mind to look into this further. I shall send word to Captain Brandt if I discover aught you should know. I'll head out first and speak with the sentinels. Use that opportunity to make good your escape. Forgive me. I couldn't sleep. A stroll might clear my head.
Prithee inform us when you leave your chambers, if aught were to happen to you.
Money can buy comfort, sure, but not happiness.
I would appreciate your swift return, Master. A fell unease begins to gnaw at me when you are gone over long.
So, you've come. Captain Brandt bade me allow you passage.
Thirst test the field, then act accordingly.
Soon as my shift's done, I'm off to the tavern.
have you come to release me from this jail? Who are you? Oh. Then we are presented with 3 options. Either the law of our world that allows only one Arisen has been upended, or Jesus Arisen is false, or you are lying to me. Have you proof that you are Arisen, as you say? Ah. They say the Arisen's breast bears a wound akin to the dragon's claw. By that mark, 'twould seem 'tis true. This reminds me of a happening 148 years ago. During the reign of Regent Alphonse, a man named Crusoe appeared and claimed to be Arisen. He went before the people, insisting that he, and not Regent Alphonse, was the true Arisen, the one fit to lead them as their ruler. And what befell him, you ask? Ha! Crusoe was discovered to be a liar, whereupon his head was liberated from his shoulders on the spot. Aye, I dare say your arrival portends another beheading, but whose will it be, Escape? But why? Here I spend my days perusing the code and deciphering old texts. I can devote all my time to my own interests. And I need not turn my ear to Disa's absurd demands. 'Tis a paradise to me, this cell. That said, if you know of a place with a mountain of tomes I could delve into, I might rethink the matter. Tell me, does that ring any bells? Oh, to think such a place existed. Oh, very curious. Guide me outside, then. If you can deliver me from this pit, I ought to be able to find the rest of the way on my own.
Got to focus. My head will grow if force goes awry. Aye, this should be far enough. My thanks. If you truly are Arisen, then I swear to someday repay this debt I owe. Words may be wind, but there's naught else I can offer you at present. Pray visit me if you've the time or inclination. Mayhap the knowledge I've gained reading tomes of Eld could be of some use to you.
Is it true you're the Arisen? That's what I've heard anyhow. Only, I seem to recall someone else boasting of being the Arisen over in the tavern about 6 months ago. Just be sure you play your part well, whatever the truth. The Arisen takes the crown here in Vermund, after all. Befell a Drake or two, and I reckon you'll earn the people's faith. Good luck to you.
Have you need of me?
Pray, follow me.
ingredients are plenty.
Oh, it's not right. It doesn't make any sort of sense. The doctor examined him afore and said he'd be better with a bit of medicine. Yet e'er since he came here, he's only gotten worse.
I understand how you must feel. But you must see that your son's health continues to wane. There is no medicine that can heal him outright. He requires proper treatment. I am caring for him as best I can. I beg only for your patience. However, if you truly cannot entrust him to me, perhaps you would care to take him home with you instead. Mayhap convalescing in a place familiar to him would aid his recovery. Of course, I would be sure to visit him as oft as I am able.
Home, you say?
Dear, we are pressed enough as 'tis.
All right, he stays. But pray bring my son back to health.
I will look after him. I swear it.
I'll harvest what I can, should it please you.
That woman's taking advantage of us, she is. She knows full well we've nowhere else to turn.
Will he truly be all right?
Say, have I seen you around?
Hoy, Arisen! Have you found any gold ore yet? Wow! This'll be plenty, I reckon. Thank you ever so much. Listen, I was talking to the priests, and apparently our troubles aren't over yet. Would you be willing to lend us a hand again, Arisen? Just one more time? Thanks. So, remember how I told you about the river by the church getting all mucky? Well, the grown-ups are saying it's gotten worse. Now lots of people who live nearby are falling sick. The priests have been treating everyone as best they can, but there's nowhere near enough medicine to go round. I want to help them, but I'm not sure what I can do. Apart from ask you, that is. Would you bring us some more medicine, Arisen? Oh, thanks, Arisen. What would we do without you? I'll talk to the priests in the meantime, see if there's anything useful I can do.
Now we've need of medicine. We can purchase it at shops, or make some up.
Hoy, Arisen! Have you brought any medicine with you? Thanks so much. This will make all the difference. But with so many sick, I reckon the priests could use a bit more than this. If you happen to find some, will you bring it to me?
Would you mind coming over here?
Sir, ought you not be in... Ah, forgive me. You're not a patient, are you? I suppose you must be a visitor. 'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Eleanor. I have the privilege of serving as abbess here. I regret that I cannot offer you a cup of tea, but I'm in the middle of making my rounds of the patients. Not to mention, I have to find the means to procure more medicinal ingredients. Oh. You wouldn't happen to know someone willing to brave the roads, would you? I know 'tis perilous, but there is one ingredient in particular we cannot afford to run out of. You would procure it yourself? I am grateful beyond words, sir. In that case, might I trouble you to bring me some miasmite? The slums are a bane to the body's humors, and its residents are oft prone to illness. We do what we can with what little we have, but we're always short on helping hands. Your aid is most appreciated, sir. May your search prove fruitful.
Tell is, miasmite can be harvested from phantoms, monsters that wander the world at night.
I think I get the idea.
long this job's supposed to last?
Hoy, Arisen! Have you brought any medicine with you? Now that's just splendid! Oh, thank you, Arisen. This should be plenty. I'll take it to the church straight away.
'Tis a goodly deed we've done, aiding the sick. I only hope our efforts go a ways toward improving life in the slums.
Is that you?
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. You've my gratitude. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. Forgive me, but I must return to my rounds directly. Ah, but in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premises. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? Would you care to accompany me? As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whatever treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived, an unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now even their poor son Lubomir has fallen ill. By chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for the medicine he required. So, he was put into our care.
You're always good for a laugh.
Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, stay as long as you wish. Come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there. Help me. Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... Gah... Something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the Gracious Hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it myself, but I can hardly move.
I find such solace in prayer.
I must strive for a higher understanding.
A moment's prayer can do a world of good.
Mayhap drink.
Medicine! 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 Now! Now! Now!
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Bruno,
Where have you gone?
You'll have to excuse me. I have a job to attend to.
Got something for me?
Each of our patients deserves our full attention. Would that we had more hands to aid us.
Good day, sir.
I spend my days in quiet. Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Teles. She gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times I hear strange cries and moans drift up from below. Which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of afflictions, you see. And yet, a part of me is afeared for them.
I thought you might like this, so I picked it up. Here you go.
So dull when there's nothing doing.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. You've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the abbess's doing. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
To get to the bottom of what is happening at the Gracious Hand, we shall have to acquire evidence of any misdeeds.
I knew it to be so. I know not why, but the words basement sick room set my hair on end. Shall we investigate?
An unsettled mind begets an unsettled world.
A moment's prayer can do a world of good.
I'll carefully conserve my strength, and
A moment's prayer can do a world of good. I fear I've much to attend to. Beg pardon, sir, but this room is where our most severe cases convalesce. I must ask you not to disturb them, for your sake as much as theirs.
rather than living an honest life.
There's no telling what will happen if I linger here.
How do I wind up here anyhow?
Suppose it's best we're heading home.
The best quality a soldier can have is
Got to accept life as its ups and downs.
Oh, sir, if you please, pray excuse my boldness, sir. I am but a humble maid in service to a noble household. Might I beg a moment of your time? My master is in need of aid, you see, and I'm hoping you'll consider offering your assistance. Oh, thank you, sir. You cannot imagine my relief. Might we continue this conversation somewhere more discreet? The matter it concerns is rather sensitive, and I would not risk being overheard. You will find my master's manor in the noble quarter. Pray, meet me there at your earliest convenience.
Ale would taste twice as fine here. At least here I can let down my hair.
This hustle of
Shall we visit the manor, as the maid bid? Follow me, master. I shall guide you to the location.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
When does my watch end?
How am I to pay these debts? Not selling. Something good will come today. I just know it.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
After you, Arisen.
Not why I came. Will someone do aught about this?
Oh, you came, sir. I must confess, I feared you would not. But I forget myself. You must be wondering why I asked you here. I should like to speak with an acquaintance of yours, a child with whom I espied you conversing. She is the spitting image of my young master, you see. 'Tis my hope that she might take his place for a time, thereby granting him a reprieve from his sorry situation.
Diana, would you paint my mother a criminal? Perhaps I ought to be the one to explain.
Young master, I meant no offense.
Diana has the right of it, though the situation is not nearly so dire as she makes it sound. I seek only the freedom to leave my own home. My mother is bedridden, you see, and her mind is not so sharp as it once was. Whenever I am absent, she grows terribly distressed. By leaving a look-alike in the house, I hope to ensure her peace of mind while I attend to matters of my own. Would you be willing to lend your assistance? Splendid. Thank you so very much.
'Twas in the slums that I witnessed you speaking with the girl. Would you be so kind as to bring her here?
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
No harm in picking a few.
was it I had to do?
All this worrying's giving me an achy back.
None of us is guaranteed tomorrow.
Hoy, Arisen! I was hoping you'd come by, so I could thank you again for all your help. You really made a difference around here. Hmm? You wanted to ask me a favor this time? All right. How can I help? So, this noble boy wants me to pretend to be him? I'm not sure that'd work. I mean, I don't know the first thing about being a noble. Besides, are you sure we can trust these people? It all sounds a bit fishy to me. All right, I'll do it. But if I'm not very good at it, it's not my fault, okay?
Here you are, Master. I hope you like it. I found it myself.
Any loose coin about? Enough to make me rich?
Suppose I can finish
I
it
don't
tomorrow.
feel safe here.
Still a while to go before my shift's over.
There's comfort in the humdrum of daily life.
Shall we bring Miss Daphne to see Master Sebastian? If you would be so kind as to follow me, I shall take you to the one you seek.
Well now, isn't this lucky? Someone who knows the way.
What was I to do today? Let's check my ledger.
Look, young master. She's here.
Indeed. I could be staring into a mirror. Diana, will you dress her and instruct her in her role?
As you wish, young master. This way, if you please, miss.
What a kindness you've done me. Now I can go and fetch a gift for Mother. I'm hoping a little cheer will aid her in her recovery. And a flower from Melve seems just the thing. She was born there, you see. No doubt her days would be brighter with a memento of her old home by her bedside.
All is ready, young master. You need only finish your preparations for the journey.
You know, the roads around Melve are supposed to be really dangerous. I heard the safest way to get there is to carry something that reeks of Cyclops with you, because it'll scare all the monsters away.
The lands around Melve are rife with poisonous flora. I'd hoped to pack an antidote for the young master, but the shops had none to spare. 'Tis not only poison the plants inflict, but drowsiness besides. Might there not be a curative that accounts for both?
Well then, I ought to be off, I suppose. I must confess, I feel rather uneasy. This is my first time leaving the city. I only hope I've not forgotten anything of import. You think I ought to bring some medicine and monster repellent with me? What precisely would you suggest? What precisely would you suggest? My thanks. I'm certain these will come in useful. Now, I really must be going. Wish me luck.
Take care, young master.
Come back safe.
Thank you for your aid in all of this, sir. I shall see about procuring you a suitable reward, so pray do come visit us again.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Such quietude is a blessing.
Won't someone do aught about this?
Home at last.
Welcome home, young master.
Thank you, Diana. I am glad to be back. 'Twas a hard journey, but I found what I sought. A blue sunbright, the sigil of our house. I only hope Mother will be pleased.
Oh, a blue sunbright. I thought they were make-believe.
Oh no, they're quite real. Rather rare, though, and particularly to Melv. I'm surprised you've heard of them, to be frank.
Really? Well, there's a picture of one stuck to the inner cover of a book that was donated to the Gracious Hand. I asked Sir Kendrick about it. He told me the flower's name.
A picture, you say? How very odd.
I believe Miss Daphne is describing a bookplate. The book in question will have been a donation from this very house. Indeed, the mistress has been very generous in her support of the Gracious Hand over the years.
For true? Oh, I must tell her thank you.
I think I could arrange that. I'm certain my mistress would be delighted.
Yes. Well, as for me, I'm just pleased to be home safe and sound.
All this racket. What's going on? Good gracious, what is the meaning of this?
Oh, you must be the lady who's been supporting the Gracious Hand. Thank you ever so much for all you've done for us.
What precisely have you told this girl?
Not a word, mistress. I swear it.
Good. As for you, girl, you need not thank me. 'Tis the privilege of the nobility to help those who are less fortunate. Now, 'tis getting late. You had best be off. Do be sure to leave the house unseen, and fare you well, child. Know that where'er life may lead you, you may take pride in who you are. Come, Diana. I would speak with you alone. You have some explaining to do.
What was that all about? Mother seemed awfully perturbed.
I do wonder what that was all about. Though I'm not sure we ought to pry.
This outcome has left me with much to ponder.
To think the lady here has been supporting the Gracious Hand for so long. I must find a way to thank her. Are all the nobles so kind? I can't wait to tell everybody at the Gracious Hand that I met the lady who gave us the book with the pretty flower.
'Tis a relief to be home safe and sound. I only hope the blue sunbright lifts Mother's spirits. What was that all about? Mother seemed awfully perturbed.
There's a ladder here.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Matters.
Look as long as you please.
Hasn't anyone got call to spend?
I don't tell half as many lies as my parents. Living's hard. Dreams are free to say.
Mayhap I ought to ask around
Well met, sir.
Greetings, Your Majesty. Have you a moment to speak?
By your leave, Arisen.
is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. While examining the palace ledger for evidence of the Queen Regent's misdeeds, I made a curious discovery. For some time now, it seems she has been diverting a veritable mountain of gold to the daily purchase of sweet crown flower. What's more, this inexpedient spending habit is recorded to have begun the very day on which Arthur, the would-be Arisen, appeared on the scene. This cannot be mere happenstance. I can only conclude that these sums are passing into the hands of Arthur himself. Yet 'tis strange, for sweet crown flowers only grow on the eastern edge of Vermont. I dare say 'twas not an item chosen idly. Mayhap this knowledge will guide us in our pursuit of the false sovereign. 'Tis a frail hope, to be certain. Yet all the same, I would ask that your Majesty venture to Vermont's eastern edge and probe into this young man's origins. I am glad to hear it, for I cannot shake the feeling that uncovering the identity of the false sovereign is the key to unraveling Deeza's scheme and securing your enthronement. There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. How fared your mission? Was there aught suspicious to be found in the Queen Regent's office? This scrap. 'Twas part of a letter, and from Batal no less. This alone can prove little, but 'tis clear that Deeza's schemes run deep. To think, Deeza's actions have weighed even on the mind of her own son. 'Tis a surprise, but a welcome one. Deeza is the doting mother before the Regent King. If Regent King Sven is willing to aid us by drawing Deeza's focus, we may be able to gain more useful information. You have done well, Your Majesty. Though I am limited in the aid I am able to offer, I bid you, take this.
What could the Queen Regent be plotting?
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty. It seems Magistrate Wardor has been safely delivered from his cell. The man's dedication to justice shall doubtless be a great boon to our cause. Mayhap 'twould be prudent to visit the man on occasion and avail yourself of his vast stores of wisdom. He might have knowledge that could benefit you on your travels. Now, would you be so kind as to return the key I lent you? I thank you. Pray, take this. Consider it remuneration for your Majesty's efforts.
Outstanding!
'Tis moments such as these that make an adventure worthwhile.
We mustn't...
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim. For some time now, 'twas said that the false sovereign was recovering from his battle wounds. But as I hear it, he is now well enough to walk unaided, and so, in honor of his supposed valor, they have been holding masquerade in the palace of late. The false sovereign's identity is still beyond our ken. Even the matter of from where he hails remains a mystery. But mayhap approaching the false sovereign at one of these gatherings could afford you a glimpse into the man behind the mask. What say you, Your Majesty? Might I ask this task of you? My thanks. Some of the sentries posted at the masquerades are under my command. I shall have them ease security, so pray, slip into the venue through whatever opening presents itself. Once your infiltration is successful, you will need only don a mask and act the part of an invitee. Few will think to be wary if they believe you a fellow masquerader. Here, this should suffice to help you blend in. Take care, Your Majesty. Ah, there is one other thing. Masquerades being as they are, you will require suitable raiment. Much is made of appearances at such gatherings, and 'twould be wisest to dress the part when joining the other revelers.
Any loose coin about? Enough to make me rich?
No, tired.
Ah, Sir Arisen. I've been meaning to speak with you. Did you, perchance, pay a visit to the House of the Blue Sunbright? I see. After the rather strongly worded letter I received, I feared as much. 'Twas under unique circumstances, shall we say, that Daphne came to reside with us. You must understand, the House of the Blue Sunbright is our most generous benefactor, and their favor hinges upon our continued discretion. Thus, for the sake of all who reside herein, I beg you to steer Daphne away from any further contact with that household. Though it pains me to perpetuate the girl's misfortune, it must be done, if the gracious hand is to continue to function.
It's you again. What are you doing now?
I have noticed that the Abbess goes out every night without fail. Perhaps you could wait for her to leave and slip into the basement sick room then.
What teachings might salve the pupil's woes?
I need it. I need it. I need more medicine!
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you gone?
You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found anything? What? You found a medicine used only in the basement sick room? I don't like the sound of that. Do you think... Could I trouble you to look into this as well? Mayhap you could show it to the doctor I saw before coming here. Radcliffe, his name was. He's staying in the rest town. Pray, sir, do what you can. I must know. You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found... These look like records of treatment. Johann and Bruno. I know these two. They left here not long ago, fit as a pair of fiddles. I recall them being especially meek to the abbess. Mayhap that's what got them out safely. At any rate, they may know aught of use. Loath as I am to ask more of you, perhaps you would speak to them in my stead?
I must be grateful, at least I have a full belly. There's comfort in the humdrum daily.
I'm dead on my feet.
Do you perchance remember me? You once knew me as maid to the young master, Sebastian. Well, I'm his maid no longer. Though I meant no harm, the mistress saw fit to turn me out. Tell no other soul of this. But the girl I had you fetch was none other than Sebastian's own twin sister, afeard of inviting conflict over their inheritance. Daphne's family branded her a cursed babe and sent her away. Yet the loss of her newborn child drove the mistress half mad with grief. She's been bedridden ever since. I had hoped the sight of her long-lost daughter might rekindle some vital spark within my mistress. But alas, 'twould seem it was not to be. In the end, my good intentions served only to rob me of my station. I suppose 'twas no less than my due for meddling in the affairs of the nobility.
Yeah? What is it?
I've need of a new skill. Stock up on the basics. Flour, salt, axe. Oh, tell me, I haven't got any.
Elena? Ah, yes. The abbess of the Gracious Hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something off about her. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. So many died down there, and once I saw her, the abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up, and he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. He had the look of a scoundrel about him. They were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh? Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a night, as I recall.
Lady Eleanor's a goodly person, a saint-like. Her earnest care saw me back to full health. I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched o'er me through it all, bless her. Can't say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy, filled with the moaning of the sick. Suppose 'tis only to be expected, given the state of those assembled. I'm sure I was moaning too.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
No harm in picking a few.
You looking for a fight?
I'm going to go exploring.
Ain't nothing but trouble.
I sleep on my woes, mayhap they'll go away.
Maybe I'll make myself scarce.
Oh, what does this say?
A thorough perusal might reveal aught of interest.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like to be in your debt. Nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quickly.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your special medicine.
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
Aye, be seeing you.
This is not the first we've heard of Lord Phasus. What could his aim be, I wonder?
How very peculiar.
I fear I've much to attend to.
What do you want to talk to me for?
This is my sort.
What could yon chest be hiding? I must know.
Let us hope your curiosity will be rewarded.
Stay away from me.
There's a ladder here.
After you, Arisen.
Could use a dash of salt.
I better get to work.
It's got to be in the thick of things, mate.
Pray, slow your feet! You run too fast for the likes of me! Weather this pleasant makes me want to kip somewhere with a nice breeze.
'Tis well that you are in good spirits. So long as you are ready when it counts.
'Tis as you say.
Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favour. Try not to get hit. Let's still let him go to waste. Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements.
Mercy.
You have my protection.
Well done. Listen, our foe has been thrown off balance.
Let us finish it! Bring the feet down!
Focus attack or end this foe.
We must spare no effort against this foe, lest we suffer defeat.
I see it. Allow me, Master. This foe shall fall by my hand.
was hard won. Let us pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try not to slip up again.
I grant you lightning's fang!
Then I shall remain by your side.
Enough. Eye upon you. I will protect you.
I can't imagine we're in need of a campfire.
Our foe has been thrown off balance. Now let us finish this. Bring the fiend down. Strike fast and true, and our quarry shall fall. Let my magics grant you an elemental boon. This brute has quite the temper. Might we not use their range to our advantage? Fear not.
You would do well to keep the high ground when fighting on an incline. It will make overpowering our foes all the simpler.
That's enough.
You'll like to grow overburdened if you keep picking up every little trinket you find.
I'll pop open the chest.
'Tis a glad thing we rested them.
We must not let down our guard.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Look, oxen! How tranquil.
'Tis best to leave harmless creatures be. You have my protection. Here, strike with lightning on your side.
Strike me if you can.
I do so enjoy the smell of the forest.
Let us hope we make it through without incident.
'Tis as you say.
Well done!
Seems we have enraged our foes.
A reckless opponent makes for easy prey.
I've got hold of the enemy!
Splendid. Fall back, and I will heal you with my magics. Wait a moment.
Feast your eyes on this!
Strike to the head will prove most effective.
'Tis a weakness shared by most.
By your leave.
Mayhap you will think this a trifle, but one master I served was quite the carefree soul. I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
Very well. I shall return.
Here we go again.
If we must, let us finish this quickly.
Of course.
We are none of us alike in vocation.
That is most fortuitous.
I see it as a glad thing. We are well poised to supplement each other's strengths. I shan't allow any further harm to come to you. I grant you lightning's fangs!
Hope you weren't expecting mercy.
When tarred, be sure to avoid open flame.
Not appreciate it.
a token of my appreciation.
Do watch where you're going. You'll hurt yourself one of these days.
Oh, don't mind me. These things happen.
Let my magic impute your weapon with the fury of the elements.
Reinforcements have come to aid our foe!
Feast your eyes on this!
So, the path splits here.
Fretting will get us nowhere. Let us pick a path and see where it takes us. Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favor.
Try not to get hit. Just all that film go to waste.
A few more victories like that, and we'll have 'em running for the hills.
Outstanding.
I shan't let them harm you.
Keep my wits about.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
I say we collect as much as we can carry. You'll not live to regret this.
Here! Strike with lightning on your side! allow me. Wait a moment. This brew has quite a temper. I can use their range to our advantage. Easily done. Roll smoke. Falter. We'll take every ounce of our strength, but we can prevail. By your leave.
Our boat is locked off balance. Grab hold and drag it to the ground.
I shall lead the charge. I would have preferred not to have to fight so soon, but at least I know I am up to the challenge.
We must not let down our guard.
You have my protection. You can count on me to fly to your aid.
Oxen are to be found here, of all places.
'Tis best to leave harmless creatures be.
I grant you lightning's fangs!
Hang in there.
Strike fast and true, and our quarry shall fall! Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements!
I've got a good feeling about this one.
I shan't allow any further harm to come to you.
We are to retreat, then?
Let us defer to the Arisen's judgment.
Tis as you say.
We are under attack!
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
No harm in picking a few.
got a good feeling about this one. Uncommon materials can be found here, methinks.
Well spotted. Shall we see what we can find?
Say, you wouldn't happen to have seen a pretty stone lying about, would you? One befitting the name the Jadeite Orb. It was stolen from me while I was delivering it, and if Master Everard should find out, he'd wring my neck. 'Tis no exaggeration. He's had people killed afore, more than a few, at that. To be quite truthful, I'd intended to sell off the Jadeite Orb and quit this place for good. Working under a man such as him, I'd only get chewed up till he decided to spit me out. That jewel was my last hope. Now it's gone. Unless you were to find it for me. Would you, sir? Oh, pray do a poor man a kindness.
The Jadeite Orb could be anywhere now. Perchance we ought...
Sir, how can I be of assistance?
I've been on my feet all day. My legs are as
Got to work if I'm to put bread on the table.
Can't remember the last time I had a proper meal.
Can't remember the last time I had a proper meal. You'll never believe this, but the other day, I saw an elven woman and a dwarven man walking hand in hand. Normally, you put an elf and a dwarf in the same room and they'll be trading blows before you can blink. Mayhap my eyes deceived me.
Shame there aren't as many folk spinning tall tales in the tavern of late. I rather enjoyed hearing the one about the Gigantus. Have you heard it? 'Tis said to descend in times of conflict, scattering friend and foe alike, and leaving only death and ruin in its wake. Sounds like the last thing we need, doesn't it?
Have you heard the rumors? The residents of a small village to the north are said to have perished overnight. There was no warning, no apparent cause, but one morning they were all discovered dead. Every last one. Of course, such rumors are best taken with a grain of salt. Some peddler might have made it up to increase sales.
Greetings, sir, and welcome to the Sword and Staff. We see a great many customers given our location, so you'll have to forgive us if the ale runs dry. The Sword and Staff is open for business.
That looks promising. Any ideas as to how we might reach it?
By your leave, Arisen.
I was a girl. Save myself. What is it now?
Sir Murden stopped taking visitors after his lady wife passed. He's not the friendliest of neighbours, though I can't think he's a bad sort.
Take joys by the handful and regrets by the...
How might I be of service?
Well met, sir. How's the day treating you then?
Come on, have a look. I'm in fine shape today.
Welcome, sir. Contrary to the name, this little shop of mine deals in naught but the finest treasures. If you think me a liar, then buy something and see the truth for yourself. Ah, I see you desire one of my masterpieces. Very well. Aught I can help with? Hope to see you again.
No purchases to be made today, I see. I just hope the shopkeep understands.
I wish I knew your restraint, Arisen.
Greetings. You are the Arisen, are you not? Tell is you travel quite a bit. Tell me, in your comings and goings, did you happen to encounter a man by the name of Offulv? He seems to have vanished while in possession of a treasure known as the Jadeite Orb. My fellow merchants are scouring the city for him as we speak, but have had no luck as yet. And if I may be candid, our primary concern is not the merchant, but rather the orb. 'Tis an item of precious importance to myself and my partners, you see. I must see it reclaimed, post-haste. And in my hour of need, who should wander by but the good Arisen? What say you, sir? Would you be so kind as to seek out the Jadeite Orb on my behalf? You will be rewarded handsomely for your service. Of that I can assure you.
It seems this Jadeite Orb is in high demand. 2 people have asked us to find it now, but only one of them can have it.
The decision is...
Well, hello there, sir. What can I do you for? Not that I really need to ask. Aye, there's always demand for weapons, particularly near the border, where quarrels occur every other day. Always a pleasure. Well met, sir. How's the day treating you then?
I'm nodding off where I stand.
Oi, you there! You've just arrived in town, haven't you? I don't mean to pry, only it's my grandson, a boy by the name of Rog. He's gone missing. Pray tell, have you seen the lad?
Morris, I've just found out Roger's been abducted by beasts.
What? No! How can that be?
I've just heard news. Rog was seen being dragged off by wolves.
Oh, my poor boy. We must go rescue him at once.
Morris, think what you're saying, friend. We can't go charging off after the lad. We are no match for such creatures.
Do you truly expect me to do naught but twiddle my thumbs when my only grandson's been taken from me? The soldiers won't do aught for him, will they now? Consarn it all. He's right. But what else am I to do? If I do not hasten to the poor lad's aid, who will? Do you truly mean that, sir? You will save my grandson. If you return him to me, I will be forever in your debt, stranger.
Shall we seek some answers?
There are quite a few beastrons are in Batal, but you scarce see them this side of the border. Strange that, considering some say Vermund was a beastron kingdom in bygone days. Mayhap you've seen those headless statues on roads and such? Tellies, they're meant to be depictions of a beastron ruler. Couldn't tell you whether any of that's true or not, mind. 'Tis simply aught I overheard at the tavern.
What? This again? I am aware of the situation, sir. I feel bad for the lad, but I don't have time to go chasing after every child who goes missing. Monsters are a fact of life in these parts. 'Tis not the first time they've preyed on some poor villager, and it shan't be the last. There's nary a thing I can do about it.
Poor Rog. He truly is a lovely boy. He's always helping Morris in his shop. And he's delivered me my remedies many a time. Once, he even picked some flowers on his way and put them up for me. All pretty like. I still recall his smile when he told me about the beautiful flower bed he tends to on the outskirts of town. Oh, Rog, will I e'er see your smile again? I suppose I can only hope.
From what I can glean, the petals absorb the sun's light by day and release it after dark. Isn't that unusual? Nature works in mysterious ways.
We're not to talk during missions, sir.
You'll never believe this, but the other day, I saw an elven woman and a dwarf. Normally, you put an elf under. Mayhap my eyes.
Aye, I met Roger by the cenotaph, on the eastern side of town. He had what looked like a bundle of grass with him, only he was carrying it as though 'twere of the greatest import. When I asked what he was doing with it, he would say no more than 'twas a secret. So I told him to get home safe, and we parted ways. Yet no sooner had I turned my back than I heard him scream. I charged to his aid, but a wolf was already scarpering with him and its jewels. Poor lad. His cries haunt me even now. Pray help him if you can, sir. He deserves a better fate than this.
This is quite a quandary. I follow my whims, wheresoe'er they may lead.
I got nothing for ye.
Got something for me?
What brings you here?
Methinks there are rare materials to be found hereabouts.
Well spotted. Shall we see what we can find? We are none of us alike in vocation.
That is most fortuitous.
Let us utilize our individual strengths wherever possible.
I can't wait to find out what's inside.
Word! Never have I seen such a fiend! If nothing else, let us avoid ending up in its monstrous form. I shan't allow any who harmly arisen to go free. Never have I encountered such a spectre. Unbelievable. Let my magic use your weapon to the fury of the elements.
'Tis a foe worthy of attention. Naught save our best will do.
Of course. The altar is standing right in the face. You'll not live to regret this.
All together now. We attack as one.
I shall lead the charge.
Well done.
Seek the high ground and fighting on an incline. It will make overpowering our foes more simpler.
Look, oxen! How tranquil.
Now, what might that be?
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
We cannot break it from this side.
So it goes.
Do watch where you're going. You'll hurt yourself one of these days.
Oh, don't mind me. These things happen. Don't look down now.
Take care not to fall.
No room, but I will protect you. Here! Strike with lightning on your side!
Yon statue may yield new sights, if we can reach it.
Shall we search for a path to lead us to it?
I think not.
Dare I say it? We trounced our foe well and true.
Well, I'm sure there's still room for improvement.
Tis a glad thing we rested when we did.
Try not to get hit! There's still that fear to go to waste!
At last, the moment I've been waiting for. Allow me to gather these up.
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon. A fine display of skill.
That was impeccably timed, Arisen.
What's going on? How did I get here? I remember. The wolves. How is it I'm still alive? You saved me. Didn't you, sir? I can hardly believe it. Thank you. I would not be standing here without you. How did you know where I was? Did Grandfather request your help? I suppose he must be worried sick about me. If it's all the same to you, sir, I think I'd like to go home now.
Shall we report our results? The flicker of a shadow, the gleam of an eye, the echo of a footfall. If we hone our senses, no foe shall escape us.
We'll manage whatever comes. We always do, don't we? Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here? Mayhap you will think this a trifle, but one master I served was quite the carefree soul, shunning armor in all its forms.
You've given me much to think about.
We have found a material.
I've a modest talent for spotting materials that can be used to enhance.
Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favor.
We must not let down our men.
I grant you lightning's fangs! Twas a glorious success!
Would that we might always be so in step, eh?
I shan't allow any further harm to come to you.
Bear in mind that the brute will seek out women with unwavering persistence.
It's a tendency we might exploit. Though to do so would be to court danger. We've got the beast reeling. If we keep this up, we'll knock its feet right out from under it.
Strike fast and true, and our quarry shall fall.
Staring arisen. Has aught yonder caught your eye?
Let my magic imbue your weapons with the fury of the elements. One of us has been drenched.
I'm not interested. Mayhap I'll buy myself a
Might
new
have a look
sword next
around.
pay.
See what else I can find.
The magics you bestowed have faded.
Here's hoping I can find myself.
Peruse at your leisure, sir.
Rog? Rog, is that you, my boy?
Hello, Grandfather.
'Tis a miracle. You're alive and in one piece. Oh, joy of joys! I thought ne'er to lay eyes on you again.
Grandfather, you're smothering me.
Oh, hush. You don't get to complain of such things after you worried me half to death.
I'm very sorry, Grandfather. I didn't mean to cause you grief.
And you? Words alone will ne'er be enough to express the depth of my gratitude. I am truly in your debt. Pray, take this. 'Tis naught but a trifle in comparison to your kindness, but I hope you will accept it all the same. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for saving me.
Huzzah! You done it!
An achievement to be proud of.
That was as long as I live, I shall ne'er forget this. I offer you my humblest thanks once again. Long as I live, I shall... Might as well take a look while you're here, eh?
Don't worry yourself on my behalf, sir. I'll run for town at the first sign of danger.
Gotta take opportunities as they come, I say.
Aye? In need of a doctor, are you? What's this you're giving me? Oh, I see. You want me to run some sort of test on this? Determine what manner of substance 'tis? Interesting. Well, you've certainly piqued my curiosity. Whatever your reasons, I'll take a look. Naturally, I'll need a bit of time with it. Come back again in Oh, I don't know. Later.
Can't afford any mistakes this time around.
Need anything?
No hurry to leave.
Tomorrow will be no. Well met, son. How might I be of service? Can't remember the last time I had a better minds than mine to solve this.
What should I get up to today? Welcome, sir. If you've a change of vocation in mind, just say the word. After all, 'tis folly to linger on a single vocation when there are so many exciting methods of combat to be tried. Do come again.
Flexible vocation. Suited to bolstering our band where reinforcement is most needed.
Where you don't flit about so much, you trip over.
Well, hello there, sir. What can I do you for? Not that I really need to ask. Aye, there's always demand for weapons, particularly near the border, where quarrels occur every other day. Do you come again? Well met, sir. How's the day treating you then?
Welcome, sir. After all, 'tis folly to linger on a single. vocation when there are so many exciting... Do come again. Fancy a look at my wares?
Some of us get complacent.
The port crystal is set, but we'll have need of a ferry stone should we seek to make use of it.
We seem to have arrived without issue. But are we safe here?
This might be...
Why, you there. Your presence is requested at the tavern this evening. Who's the one requesting? I didn't ask. 'Tis none of my concern. The fellow said aught about the usual place.
I sense eyes upon us.
I didn't tell half as many lies as my parents.
What?
My, I'm trapped like a rat in a cage. This Arisen's both shrewd and fleet of foot. Ah, 'tis obvious, no? I am an agent, of a sort. Let's just say there are some who don't want you wandering about as you please. I was to report on your comings and goings, you see. But I suppose that job's over, now you found me out. So, how about it, friend? Will you let me go? I've no reason to trouble you any further. Aye, aye. You'll have your coin. That's how this works, isn't it? Greed will get you nowhere, friend. But worry not. You won't need it where you're headed.
Have my protection!
Steel yourself! I know you've got it in you!
You there! Halt!
Is not yet done.
Shit! We're in for it now.
With all likelihood, he is an agent dispatched from Batal. Pray, let us handle the rest. We will hear all he has to say before the week is out. I bid you, wait till then.
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
I say we collect as much as we can carry.
We will hear all he has to say before the week is out. I bid you, wait till then.
It'll do you no good letting me rot in here, you know. Another agent will be on you afore long.
A crime committed here will see one confined to jail.
As I understand it, the pay of a jailer is miserable for all their toil.
Then a bribe might avail her.
Welcome to Bjorn's Armory. You'll find only pieces of the finest quality line these shelves, and quality's what you need if you want to survive. So before you check... Price, just remember. Misers die. Hope to see you again.
'Tis most exhilarating to hand over such a sum.
An investment made for safer travels can hardly be called extravagant.
Must you run so fast? I can hardly keep you in my sights, Arisen.
With the aid of Sir Kendrick and his helper in locating certain documents, I believe I finally grasped the true nature of this place. 'Twas a royal library that was sealed off by a sovereign of some generations past. In a bid to pass the throne on to his own descendants, this sovereign attempted to consign our kingdom's histories to oblivion. Alas, 'twould seem that, no matter the age, the avarice of those in power is all but guaranteed. Yet 'tis clear it serves them not. Almost laughably so. The sovereign's line ultimately fell to ruin, and now this library, so laboriously sealed, has been discovered. What can we learn from this? Those who make light of history are doomed to be crushed under its heel.
Whenever I see so much as a gleam of treasure, I cannot help but want to claim it, however far it may be from our goal.
Fine timing, sir. Fine timing indeed. I've need of your services, you see. My time in that tenebrous jail has only hastened the deterioration of my eyesight. I stare at the page, but the letters stubbornly refuse to take shape. Yet these old eyes might serve some use if only I could wear the spectacles I had specially made. Alas, they were confiscated at the time of my imprisonment. As I recall, prisoners' possessions are held within the palace storeroom. 'Tis a place to which few have lawful access, as I'm sure you can imagine. Though, as I hear it, masquerades are being held of late. Masquerades with a great many attendees, if you catch my meaning. Should you happen to enter the venue, mayhap you would find an opportunity to liberate my poor spectacles. What say you? Would you consider doing an old man a favor? I am in your debt. With those spectacles in hand, I might actually get through one of my tomes. Pray, infiltrate the venue and find the storeroom. You are my only hope.
Sir Arisen, I trust that you will do what is right by Daphne, and indeed by this establishment. Pray see to it that naught akin to the recent debacle be allowed to occur again.
I'm dead on my feet after today's training.
There's a ladder here.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
You're always such fun to talk to. Nice to see you again.
I have no issue falling asleep, even at this time of day.
The sun may have fallen, but the day is far from over.
Step lively. Journey by starlight shall make for a nice change of pace.
Feeling rested,
What do you think? Does this suit me?
I'm a tad preoccupied just now, if you can't tell.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. I bear word from Regent Ken Sven, your Majesty. He espied the delivery of a suspicious package to a man named Allard, a minister who happens to be one of the Queen Regent's staunchest and most powerful allies in the palace. From the pains he took to remain on scene, 'tis plain that Allard wished this delivery kept away from prying eyes. That alone is reason to suspect a connection to Deeza's schemes. We must get to the bottom of it. The Regent Kin intends to call Allard to his chambers come nightfall. He bids you to use this opportunity to search the minister's chambers and see if there's aught to be learned. What say you, your Majesty? Are you willing to undertake this task? I shall ensure that the door to the minister's chambers is open between midnight and dawn. Pray, use that time to infiltrate and uncover aught worthy of suspicion.
There is only one acceptable outcome. Complete and utter success.
Shall we make for Burnworth Palace? Shall we make for Burnworth Palace? Let us make for the palace, that you might investigate Minister Allard's chambers.
Those new recruits could barely lift their swords.
You are the Arisen, yes? The captain gave me your description. Follow me! best you move along. Should one of the other guards espy you, I will be forced to play my part. Pray, be cautious, Your Majesty.
What business could be so pressing that I must be summoned at this late hour?
I would not presume to know, my lord. However, it must be a highly sensitive matter for the Regent Kin to request a private audience.
Or perhaps the boy has finally grown wise to the benefits my favor can bring. He might just be his mother's puppet, but at least he knows what's good for him.
My lord, if someone were to overhear...
Oh, unring your hands, you fool! As if anyone in this palace would dare say a word against me. Now, if Wilhelmina calls, tell her to await me in my chambers. I will return presently.
Surely none more important than this. I speak of the ascension of the Sovereign.
Indeed. But that, Your Grace, would be better discussed in the presence of your mother.
Well, well. Yours isn't a face I'm accustomed to seeing around the palace. How did you get in here?
Oi! Who goes there? Who's there?
Tut, tut. Now, this just won't do. How's a lady supposed to work with all these interruptions?
Oh, it is you, Lady Wilhelmina.
Mm-hmm. Do excuse us. We thought to enjoy a little fresh air. Though we had hoped for slightly more privacy, if you catch my meaning.
Apologies, milady. But might I ask the name of your companion?
Are you sure it would be wise? Such knowledge has been known to cost a man his head.
Understood, milady. If anyone asks, I shall say I saw naught.
A narrow escape. You should count yourself lucky that he was so easily flustered. Is that all you have to say for yourself? 'Tis sweet of you to mind your manners, but such niceties won't get you far with me. Still, you are welcome to come calling, should the fancy take you, and should you have the gold for it. Off you go now. If you wish to speak further, 'twill have to wait. This is neither the time nor the place for it.
Still waiting on that report.
Few other places where I cannot afford another night of cavorting.
I'm frightfully busy. No time for...
I dare say you don't belong here.
Always the same. I must ask you to comport yourself with the utmost civility while you are within the masquerade hall.
You're far from your station, are you not?
I was bored out my skull guarding the palace. At least here I can listen to some...
I like to come here when I'm is for mindless men. This place is awful dull. Can't complain.
On me to bear what younger shall.
This is a peaceful place. Perfect for meditation.
Surely it wasn't my affairs of which they whispered.
Whatever am I to do? A lonely place, not without its charm.
Well now, you're...
What is it? Has something happened?
We have it on good authority that a suspicious individual passed through here.
We need to scour the area. Well, scour all you like. You won't find
In here.
I've been here the whole time.
Open up!
Open this door right now. We're coming in.
You're dressed rather austerely for a patron.
My humblest apologies, Lady Wilhelmina. We've had reports of an unseemly character in the vicinity, you see, and...
Preposterous. I was out front till but a moment ago, and I did not see so much as a shadow.
Be that as it may.
You are excused. Leave this place, ere you invite our noble host's wrath upon yourself. I will summon you if aught is amiss.
Pray forgive the intrusion.
And what business have you here? In the nobles' playground? Hmm? You've the face of someone in search of a juicy morsel. Would you be looking for this, perchance?
Come on then, keep pouring. Do you take me for some green lad who can't handle his cups? I'm your damned king, and a king deserves royal treatment.
Of course, Your Majesty. Tell us, Your Majesty, would you prefer more drink, or shall we find some other way to amuse ourselves?
Aye. Let's change things up.
I believe I cautioned you to keep your drunken revelry in check. Lest you forget, these celebrations of your valor are but a pretense for more serious matters.
I know. I do. It's just I get the poison in me and things happen is all.
You need only serve as our false king until Sven becomes consul. Till then, however, you would do well to remember that your role demands a certain degree of dignity. I trust you understand your position, Your Majesty.
Nay, I mean I. As you say, I'll go and sober up.
Why not remove yours as well? This is not the masquerade hall, and we now find ourselves quite alone. What say we dispense with such pretenses and speak openly with one another, Lord Phaesus?
That will do. If you're discovered, yours won't be the only head that rolls. What is your purpose here, I wonder? If you came to learn of the Sovereign, then 'tis as you have seen. The man is naught but a ale-swilling pretender propped up by the Queen Regent. Of course, that begs the question. If he's a mere mummer, then where might our true Arisen be? You'd best go. I'll do what I can to help you make your escape. Come see me in my bordlery, whene'er you're so inclined. I'll instruct my attendants to send you straight to me.
Not much going on.
I'm not sure what to do with myself today.
I like to come here when I need a minute. My whiskers are looking a tad crooked.
So this is where you were, Master. I searched high and low for you.
Our party is reunited. Surely we can ask for no more than that.
Still, however pressed, no man is like to hand her his own wife, eh? The Watchhead refused, and rightly so. But his lordship doesn't take no for an answer. He employed his usual method, which is to say, he dispatched the Watchhead on a mission to slay a Dullahan. Poor old Gregor departed last night. I'm sorry to say it, but he shan't be returning alive. That's the sort of man that noble is, you see. Naught noble about him, if you ask me.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
No harm in picking a few.
Will someone talk about this? Beg pardon, sir, but might I have a moment of your time? I've a proposal to make, and methinks you'll want to hear it. See, a friend of mine has an empty house, but no use for it. And I see you round the inn rather often. Understand me? 'Twouldn't come free, mind, but the price is a fair one, and you'd have a place to call your own. What say you? Well, you needn't decide this very moment. Come speak with me again once your mind's set.
I'll gather these now. It would be a shame to forget their location when we need them most.
Tad rowdy, but I shan't wait for someone to come along and add my edible control.
We have arrived.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. I know this sigil well. 'Tis the crest of the neighboring country of Batal, a land with which Vermin has no official dealings at present. Let me see. It reads, "True to our word, we offer you the power of the Godsway. Pray make haste in securing Melv, that all might be made ready ere our plans are set in motion." A meager clue, to be certain. Though, 'tis clear that the Queen Regent conspires with Batal. This does not bode well at all. Though the political situation is stable at present, much blood has been spilled between Vermund and its neighbor in the past. I fear such a partnership would only portend the drawing of more. At any rate, 'twould seem our search has led us to only more questions. Chief among them, what is meant by securing Melv and this Godsway? I will investigate these matters as best I can. In the interim, Your Majesty, should you have time to spare, might you make for Melv? Only once we have gleaned a fragment of the Queen Regent's plot can we begin to thwart it. And ere it slips my mind, pray, take this. Perchance it will help speed you on your way to Melv.
Jesus. Now there's a name to remember.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. Ah, yes. Regarding your pursuer from some days past, as we suspected. He was indeed an agent from Batal. When he learnt of your Majesty's escape, he began inquiring after your movements. 'Tis a glad thing we captured him before matters escalated. As to how he learned your Majesty's location with such ease, I intend to extract the answers from him anon. I shall be sure to inform you when I do. Pray, take this. 'Tis the least I can offer for your Majesty's assistance.
So the agent was of Batal after all. 'Tis rather eerie that someone should be sent across the border to spy on you.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. Well, well. He is merely Disa's puppet then. 'Tis likely that he knows naught of her schemes, even were he to be removed. I suspect some other would simply be made to take his place. But if there's aught that compels my attention, 'tis this other man you mention. Phasus, was it? He seems a man of import, and yet I have never heard of him. Pray, allow me to investigate this matter further. You've done well, Your Majesty. Thank you.
So the false sovereign, Queen Regent Disa, and this Phasus fellow are all working together. Quite a sordid trio, eh?
I know not what...
There is much we ought to tend to. If we are to strengthen your Majesty, do not forget that we work to...
Well met, sir. Fancy
Ah, I see you found the spectacles. Shall we deliver them to their rightful owner, Magistrate Walder? Certainly, Master. I can take you to this individual.
Well now, isn't this lucky? Someone who knows the way. The fiend unknown is the most perilous.
Ah, you've returned. Oh, my spectacles. Well done, sir. With these, I shall have no need to fear any letters, be they small or faintly scrawled. I shall learn aught I can, that the day might come when I can repay this debt I owe you. Many, many thanks. Take this as a token of my gratitude.
That was such...
'Tis a marvelous place you found me. You have my gratitude.
Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements.
All that fuss and nary a coin to show for it. I wonder how long this shop. Getting proper rest is an important duty in its own right.